Hey friends and fam, this is simply Rob Vasilarakis, spokesmodel for the 2024 HIV Stops With Me campaign, coming to you from Washington Heights and Uptown Manhattan with the December 2024 question of the month. As an HIV Stops With Me spokesmodel, share a highlight and a lesson learned during the 2024 campaign. So for me, an absolute highlight was the 2024 annual Northwell Retreat, which is held every year in Chappaqua, which is upstate in Westchester. And a few of us were invited to come to serve as the keynote speakers as part of the campaign on Sunday, which was the final day. But we were also invited to come and participate in the whole weekend, right? So we were put up in these beautiful rooms in these cabins, and we shared really amazing meals together. So it was meals and activities and workshops and crafts and nature walks and photography and painting, like all just really amazing stuff. And so, but yeah, and then we would sit together as a group, at the table, and we would eat family style, and I feel like we really got to bond in a way that was so much deeper than I have with these particular folks, my fellow spokesmodels in the past, outside of like a training weekend. But because it was a much smaller group, I think that it was more intimate, and we got to bond in a much deeper way. But then there was also the planning, right? The planning of the keynote speaking and, the topics that we were assigned. And so we all had topics that we were assigned to speak on. And some of them included like medication adherence or treatment adherence, disclosure, aging with HIV, and like overall wellness, mind, body, soul. And so, yeah, but the highlight of the highlight for me was the experience of, serving as the keynote speakers, and how present we were for each other, and how we listened to and supported each other, even if we weren't the ones speaking at the time. Like there was just something very connected and supportive and unified about the experience. And so I'm really grateful to have had that. And it was evident that I wasn't the only one that felt it, because of the feedback, not just from the audience members or the people that the other participants that were there listening to us speak, but the feedback that we had for each other. The things that we said to each other afterwards in like an unofficial debrief as we were back at the table eating family style. And it was sort of the things that we would say to each other about, oh, I never heard that aspect of your story before, or, oh, there was something that you said that stopped me dead in my tracks. Like these are literally things that we were saying to each other. So yeah, it was a great experience. As for the lessons learned in 2024, I think the lessons learned don't just apply to my participation as a spokesmodel on the campaign. I think they were life lessons, and I think they were, remember who you are, right? And then also trust yourself, trust myself, right? I can trust myself. I have been standing in my truth and sharing my truth for some time now. This is my 7th year in the campaign, right? And so confidence in what I'm saying and assertiveness in what I'm saying does not equal arrogance. I know what I'm talking about, especially when it comes to my experience, and it's clear that, I have been fortunate enough to be able to touch, move, and inspire others with my story and with my truth, the way that I have been touched, moved, and inspired. And and that's nothing to shrink away from, right? And I can say it. I can say things with my chest and mean it, because there was power in what we do. It's very powerful, So yeah, that's basically the lesson, right? And I think the last piece of it is just, Rob, know your worth, like, and your value, like, recognizing that I really do have something to bring to the table in any situation, and yeah, and that it holds weight, so yeah, with that said, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for this year. And if nobody told you yet today, let me be the first to say that I love you. HIV stops with me. Simply Rob Bachelor Rock is. Peace.